Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry for my voice. I lost my voice. My voice is completely gone. Anyways, if you're new to this channel, my name is Tofumi and this is my channel where I teach sewing tips, sewing tutorials. Most times I major on freehand sewing tips. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to cut and stitch that ruched blouse, side ruched blouse that is in my thumbnail. Please come with me. What that I have here is like a yard. It's like a yard of fabric, and this print is I know that tailors can relate when you go to the market and you don't plan to shop for fabric for yourself, but you just see a gorgeous fabric and you're like, nah, I can't let this slide. So let's get right into it. Enough of the gist. The first thing I've done now is that I folded my fabric into 4. Bear in mind that I'm going to cut this style in a boo-boo format. That is, it's not going to have zip and it's going to be free, such that I don't need to add zip to wear it and it's not going to be too tight. So let's get right into it. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using a marker so that you can see the lines on the fabric. So the first thing I'm going to do is to check out the length of this blouse. Now the regular blouse length that I use is 23 inches, but because I want it has to be longer, and I want it to be longer, I want the ruch parts to come off very how do I say this in a way that you understand? I want it to be very ruched. I want it to be very obvious. Yeah, that's a better word. I want it to be very obvious when I add the strings to the side. So I'm going to increase the length. Now, the length I'm going to increase is totally dependent on you, how many inches you want to add to it. So I'm going to make it 28 inches. That is, I added 5 extra inches to the blouse. So what I have here is 28 inches. Now we're going to insert our vertical measurements for this blouse. The shoulder measurement is 7.5 inches. I'm going to add half an inch for stitching allowance at the sleeves and for the neckline. So that means that I have 8 inches here. I hope you guys can see. Let me shift it like this. So what I have here is 8 inches. For the armhole, I'm going to add half an inch also for the armhole, so that by the time I stitch it to the shoulder, I have my exact 8 inches like this. And for the bust line, now for the bust measurement for this blouse is 9 inches wide. And I'm going to add 2 extra inches for sewing allowance. Now I'm not going to add any allowance for how free I want it to be. So I'm going to use 1 inch to stitch at the side. That is half on both sides. So that means that what I'm going to be left with on the blouse is 10 inches for the bust measurement. I mean, that's a bit free. And I'm going to take the same measurement all the way down. So this is what we have. Now for the neckline measurement, I'm going to do 3.5 inches, and I'm going to make the neckline, the depth of the neckline, 8 inches. Now this neckline, I'm going to come in by 1 inch like this. I hope you guys can see. I came in from this point. I came in by 1 inch, and I'm going to connect this line to this line. I hope you understand. I'm going to connect this line to this. So this is how wide the neck is going to be. Now let's just trace out my armhole. And this is what we have, guys. Now please note that you're not going to cut this together. I'm just going to cut out the sides together. The neckline for the front is different from the neckline from the back, but I just mapped this out for the purpose of this tutorial. After I'm done cutting out the sides, this is what I have. So now for the neckline, what I'm just simply going to do is to notch where the neckline for both sides join, that is for the front and the back, before I now take it out. So this is what we have. I'm going to cut out the neckline for the front part. Can you guys see? This is what we have. This is what it's going to look like when you're done cutting. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to stitch the shoulder together so that we can insert the neckline. This is what I have. The next thing I'm going to do is to measure the collar round to know how long the strip I'm going to cut is going to be. So what I have here is 27 inches, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut out that 27 inches on the strip. For this collar parts, you can use another color of fabric just to make it pop more, but for the purpose of this tutorial, this is what I'm going to use. So we measure 27. I'm going to measure 27 all the way. There's no need to add anything extra to the 27. Let's add 27 all the way. So the width of that 27 is going to be 4 inches. It's going to be 4 inches wide. 3 inches being the original collar, that is 3 inches, so that when I fold by 2 it's going to be 1.5. So I'm going to measure 4 inches. The extra 1 inch is for sewing allowance to stitch it at the sides. So this is what I have, and I'm going to fold it into two like this and iron it so that I get a correct shape. And so guys, here is what I have. I'm going to please ignore the noise outside. I'm going to join the collar of the neck to the neck piece. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to join the sides. The next thing I'm going to do is to join the sides. And remember guys, remember that I said that I wanted the ruch at the side to be longer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark where it's going to get to. Remember that the original length is 23 inches and I added extra 5 inches. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to locate my waistline. This is where my waistline is going to be. It's going to be on 16 inches. So from here, I'm going to notch it. And this is where the ruch parts of this outfit is going to start from. I'm going to join the outfit so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to join the sides together, and this is what we have. Can you guys see? I've joined it by 1/2 inch, like I said I was going to do earlier. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I have these tiny strips here. Basically what I did was I took a measurement of this point to this point, and what we have here is 12 inches. What we have here is 12 inches. So what I did was I measured out 13 inches because I'm going to be needing extra 1 inch to fold it together. Now this strip is in 2 pieces because the ruch is going to be on 2 sides. So I made it 2 pieces. These strips are 3 inches wide each. This is 3 inches wide each. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron it so that I can get the midpoint. So I'm going to iron this, and let me show you guys how I'm going to join it together. So basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open this place up like this. Now from this point where I notched it, I'm going to face this in such a way that the midpoint, I hope you guys can see it, in such a way that the midpoint is facing each other. And I'm going to stitch round like this. I'll stitch the edges round all the way to the lower part, and I'm going to stitch this middle also, so that I'm stitching the middle part to the middle part of this one. Let me do that. I'll come and show you guys. I'm going to join it together. Can you guys see? Let me take it off so you guys can see. So this is what I did. I faced this one to the middle, and this is what it looks like on the outside. Can you guys see? This is the middle part, this is at the sides. So now I didn't cover this up part yet, the upper part here yet, because I have to pass the ropes for the ruches to the side. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this pin, I'm going to do like this and pass it from the lower side here. Remember that you're not going to close the lower side because the lower side is where the rope is going to come out from and it cannot be closed. So basically this is what I did. So at the tip here, where this thing is supposed to come out from, I'm now going to join it. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Then I'm now going to close this up so that this closing is going to hold this one in place for the ropes on the side. Can you guys get it? I'm going to join it, and here is what we have. Can you see? This is what it looks like. So you can draw the strings as much as you want to. It's based on your discretion, whatever you want. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.